The entire entertainment world was left stunned when Prince Harry abruptly walked off the set of Seth Meyers' show following an on-air confrontation that turned unexpectedly awkward and deeply uncomfortable. What began as a lighthearted promotional guest appearance for Harry's upcoming charity project spiraled into an intensely cringe-worthy moment that neither the audience nor the production crew could believe was unfolding live before their eyes. Harry, who has rarely appeared on late-night American television, reportedly agreed to this rare interview as part of his effort to reshape public perception and emphasize his dedication to mental health awareness. However, things began to unravel when Seth, known for his witty and occasionally sarcastic humor, crossed a line that Harry clearly didn't appreciate. Seth opened the conversation with seemingly innocent jokes about royal life and Harry's move to California, which Harry endured politely with a controlled smile. But as the host kept pushing more personal and biting jokes about the royal family, Meghan, and Harry's decisions since leaving Buckingham Palace, the Duke's discomfort visibly grew. Seth Meyers, perhaps trying to keep his show's comedic energy flowing, made the mistake of asking Harry if he missed being a prince with duties or just a prince of Netflix contracts. In what was supposed to be a humorous jab, the studio audience chuckled, sensing the host's usual cheeky style. But Harry's frozen smile and stiff body language suggested that he didn't find it funny at all. Tension thickened when Seth playfully questioned if Harry had to call the Queen for permission before choosing what to eat in California, or if Meghan now held all the royal decision-making power at home. The studio fell into awkward laughter as Harry shifted uncomfortably in his seat, clearly fighting to maintain composure. Instead of laughing along or dodging the jokes, Harry coolly responded that he was there to discuss serious topics like mental health and veterans issues, not to be reduced to tabloid gossip on live television. The mood noticeably shifted from fun to confrontational. The crack in the lighthearted atmosphere became impossible to ignore. The breaking point came when Seth, after a segment about life in Los Angeles, asked in jest whether Harry ever regretted trading the crown for a California tan and Hollywood paparazzi. That moment completely shattered whatever fragile peace remained. Harry's smile disappeared, replaced by a serious, almost annoyed expression. And he took a deep breath before staring directly at Seth and saying that the sacrifices he and Meghan made were for the safety and mental well-being of their family, not for fame or wealth, as the joke implied. The audience gasped softly, feeling the room's energy turn cold. Realizing the tension, tried awkwardly to save the moment by offering to switch topics or play a silly game, but Harry, clearly fed up, removed his microphone and placed it on the table. He calmly but firmly told Seth that he wouldn't sit through another public mockery dressed up as entertainment. His voice steady but sharp, Harry stood up, thanked the audience for their time, declared that he would not tolerate disrespect, even from a popular talk show host in front of millions. Seth sat frozen for a brief moment, looking around as if expecting someone from the crew to intervene, or Harry to suddenly sit down again with a chuckle. But it was clear the prince was serious. The entire studio was deathly quiet. Even the cameras hesitated to pan away as Harry, still composed but clearly frustrated, started walking off the set without looking back. Some audience members gasped, others whispered in shock, and a few began clapping nervously, unsure of how to react to the royal storm-off. Meyers, visibly flustered and struggling to maintain control, jokingly muttered something about not being knighted anytime soon, but the humor fell flat. The entire exchange felt real, raw, and completely unscripted, rare. Unfiltered moment that viewers rarely see in the polished world of celebrity talk shows. Even as the producers rushed to cut to a commercial, the shock of what just happened lingered like static in the room, leaving everyone in the studio and those watching at home stunned into silence. Backstage. Chaos reportedly erupted as Harry's team confronted show producers about the line of questioning that had derailed the interview. Insiders claimed that the Duke's representatives were furious, accusing Seth's staff of betraying the agreed-upon script, which had supposedly promised a focus on Harry's charity initiatives, mental health advocacy, and life after royal service, not his personal scandals or marriage. Harry, described by witnesses as calm but deeply disappointed, made it clear that he felt ambushed and misled. Meanwhile, Seth was said to be pacing nervously backstage, wondering if the segment would damage his reputation or future guest bookings. His staff members argued over who approved the final list of jokes, some blaming writers for pushing edgy material at the last minute. Regardless of who was at fault, the damage had been done. Within minutes, phone cameras in the studio captured blurry footage of Harry's walk-off, clips that instantly began circulating on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, fueling a media firestorm. As expected. The internet exploded with reaction. Twitter trended with hashtags like #HarryWalksOff and #Seth Meyers drama within the hour. Fans and critics alike debated fiercely over whether Prince Harry was justified in his reaction or whether he had overreacted to typical late-night teasing. Supporters praised his calm but firm exit as a sign of dignity and self-respect, unwilling to let his serious causes be reduced to punchlines. Detractors, however, accused him of lacking a sense of humor and of being too sensitive for the tough world of American media. Memes of Harry storming off, edited with dramatic sound effects or mocking captions, flooded TikTok. YouTube personalities rushed to post reaction videos breaking down every uncomfortable minute of the interview. Commentators and culture critics on both sides of the Atlantic weighed in on cable news and morning shows, turning what was meant to be a simple promotional appearance into an international media spectacle. Meanwhile, British tabloids had a field day with the incident. Headlines screamed that the prince can't take a joke or that Harry flips out on US television, framing the walk-off as yet another sign that Harry was out of his depth in the world of celebrity. Royal insiders, while officially refusing to comment, were reported to have privately told journalists that this was exactly why the palace carefully scripts public appearances to avoid such disasters. Meghan Markle, according to close sources, was livid when she heard what happened, believing her husband had been disrespected and set up for embarrassment. Rumors even swirled that the Sussexes were considering suing the network, or at least demanding a public apology. Across Hollywood, whispers spread among other stars and agents that future celebrity guests might now insist on tighter control over show scripts after seeing what happened to Harry. A rare moment where a royal and a talk show host clashed so publicly and so dramatically. In the wake of the fallout, Seth Meyers' production team scrambled to issue a statement claiming that no offense was intended and that the jokes were cleared in advance by Harry's team. Claim quickly denied by Harry's official spokesperson, who insisted no such approval had been given. This contradiction only deepened the controversy, leading to frantic behind-the-scenes emails and calls between publicists, network executives, and royal representatives trying to control the narrative. Late-night competitors like Jimmy Fallon and Stephen Colbert reportedly joked off camera about the mess, while some insiders suggested Seth Meyers might be forced to issue an on-air apology to prevent future high-profile guests from canceling appearances. Meanwhile, analysts debated the long-term impact on Harry's media strategy. Many believed this might be his last spontaneous interview for a long while, predicting the Sussexes would stick to scripted documentaries and controlled press releases to avoid another unscripted PR disaster. The entire media world remained fixated on the fallout for days, with no clear resolution in sight. Some experts argued that Harry's reaction showed the difficult balancing act he faces caught between the formality and control of royal life and the rough, unpredictable world of American celebrity culture. Others warned that Seth Meyers had risked alienating future British or European guests with his mishandling of the interview. PR consultants and crisis managers on both sides scrambled to advise their clients on how to spin the event. Meanwhile, the general public remained glued to every update, eagerly reading every leaked email, anonymous source quote, or blurry paparazzi photo, hinting at the behind-the-scenes drama. The clash between Prince Harry and Seth Meyers had become more than just a talk show gaffe. It had become a symbol of the tension between private dignity and public spectacle in the modern celebrity age lesson both men would likely never forget.